All right, folks, welcome to Wani. With us today, we have legendary Snake of Voivod. How you doing?
I'm doing very good.
Now the tour has been going on for some time. You guys played in UK, and now you're on the other side of Europe playing. So how's been the response in terms of fans seeing Voivod in Europe?
Oh, it's been awesome. It's a pretty intense tour. It's like playing like every day.
Mhm.
It's like not a whole lot of day offs, and it's been great. The response is it's almost sold out every night. So
Mhm.
who could ask for anything
Yeah.
more than this? And the response is awesome. Even if we play early on this tour, um, people get to the show early, and then the night goes on, and it's been fun so far. Yeah.
That's amazing because the lineup is, the name itself, Deathcrusher Tour,
Yeah.
is really interesting because you have, all the legends in there. You have Carcass, you have you guys, Napalm Death, and also Obituary in there. So a perfect, let's say, a death metal come thrash package for fans
Yeah,
to witness.
it's been actually it's more of it's a new kind of trend
Yeah.
that instead of like touring two bands in a on a
Yeah.
tour, or having like a package, or it's almost like a mini festival going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like it's a good concept, I think. As far as sharing the cost of
Yeah.
we play every night, and then the pattern goes on, and the show must go on.
And I'm
It's,
glad that you guys are playing in France.
Yeah.
It's, I think, in next coming days.
yeah,
you
it's
guys, yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, because it's really crazy that if you're aware or not, Lamb of God have cancelled their entire European tour because of the security concerns.
Yeah.
So that I thought, okay, that shouldn't happen because many fans have already bought the tickets and excited to see you guys. So I'm glad that you guys took the step of continuing the tour and even
Yeah.
playing in Paris, which is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big gig, and it's uh, we're thinking about the fans. If the fans are really willing to have their tickets in their hand and
Yeah.
go to the show,
Yeah.
then we should go. It's like for us, it's just a band, and these things can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
You can be sitting in a restaurant. It's like
Anything can happen.
anything can happen anywhere, and it's like it's sad for the victims and families, and it's really really sad. And actually, we knew some people. I mean, there's people, especially um, the guitar player of Obituary, knew the merch guy that was shot.
Oh yeah. Who was that? I think he was
Nick-
doing merch for.
Nick Alexander.
Yeah.
So he was crying, and we were
That's-
kind of like supporting him. And
It's a metal
It's-
family.
yeah,
together.
of course, it's a
one
little
person
family.
passes, it impacts
Every-
everybody.
Yeah, it had an impact on everyone. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And you've been basically from Canada. You guys have toured Europe before. You've played in States. What sort of difference do you find in fans, especially German fans who come to see Voivod, as compared to when you go back home and play?
Germany's always been good for us. We actually in the '80s, late '80s, we did 2 records there in Berlin at the Music Lab studio. So Germany for us is
Second home.
the second home, sort of. Especially touring Europe, everywhere is great. I think but Germany is like
Hub.
because each time we tour in Europe in general, there's more dates in Germany
Than any other
Right,
country.
yeah.
Right.
So, I
That's
mean, metal is strong here. That's why the promoter do their jobs really well.
yeah. That's amazing. Now, Target Earth, it's been 3 years since it's out. And I also know that you guys have been working on some songs. You did some split, vinyls with Napalm and At the Gates as
Yeah.
well. Has anything been the material is ready to be recorded down the road, or what's happening in the camp?
We're gonna have a new release in around March.
Okay.
A 5-song EP.
Oh, so you guys are gonna do an EP now instead of a full album?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's we'll do an album as well.
Okay.
You know? So we're gonna release an EP and then release the album later on the next year.
Okay. So it's more like because what I really like about Target Earth was the length of the songs was more. It was more progressive. And if we talk about EP, I assume the 5 songs would be somewhere around 30-35 minutes. So that makes it an album.
Yeah. It's like but as the process is on now for creating. We're creating on tour. Actually, we're doing mixes.
In tour buses.
In tour bus with our guy there in Canada. Via internet, and it's like, little less of this, more of that, and
So basically, the material is written and recorded now.
Not all,
okay,
but part of it.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, and is it going to be on the same vein as Target Earth in terms of how progressive it was?
It's a bit different, I would say, but Voivod always been doing different things each time, so. But it has its own signature with a new bass player, Rocky.
Yeah.
He brought a new sauce to it, I think.
Elements.
A new element. So, and it's different than Target Earth, but it's still Voivod.
Yeah. And in terms of your sound as well, I know basically when we talk about Voivod, we can say it's like progressive and thrash elements as well. I don't know whether you're aware of this band called Vektor.
Yeah.
Who play the same, so I kind of see them as a new wave of Voivod.
And we're gonna tour with them in
the US.
In the US next year.
So in terms of if you had to classify the sound of Voivod over the period of time, what would be that in a specific area where do you feel that the music is right now?
It's really hard to just to put it in one word, because our influences from hard rock, punk, heavy metal, progressive,
right.
And people say sometimes, Voivod is Voivod. It's just like, and that's good to hear because it's sometimes putting labels on things. It's because I never really thought it was a good idea because each band has a different signature.
Sound.
You can say that Obituary is trash, but it's a different trash than other trash band.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's hard to describe in one word what is, the whole thing about Voivod.
In terms of also the evolution of the band, I mean, you guys faced, you lost a brother as well, and then everything had to be completely changed, and then Target Earth, and everything which has happened over the period of time has been ups as well as downs as well. And when especially when Piggy died, what was the sort of inspiration for you guys to bring the band back to its feet and continue playing music?
Of course, when the loss of Piggy was a terrible thing. We couldn't do really anything for 2-3 years, and we didn't know what would be the future of the band. And we finally found a guy that could play Voivod, and it's sort of like a mixture of circumstances that happened, and it's like, okay, maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe if we pick up this guy who learn, actually the first thing I learned was Voivod. His first show we saw was Voivod. And the next day he saw Voivod, he bought a guitar and started playing Piggy's riff. So for us, Chewy was the best option. Blackie went back and then he left again. And then we picked up Rocky. He's a really good player that used to play with Chewy, a different project before. So they know each other very well. And so there's they understand each other, and that's there is a complementarity in between the two. And
And even in terms of his playing, I mean, it's not just imitating a guy who had created a sound, but also adding his own touch
yeah,
to it.
yeah, absolutely.
That's something
He's
which Target Earth was really amazing about.
yeah, I was quite surprised on Target Earth what he released, because the it's one thing to play Voivod's songs, already written songs, but you know, to create new songs, it's I think what he wanted to do was just, you know, composing music that Voivod fans wants to hear.
Want to hear, yeah.
And so we did, and the piggy spirit is really there.
There, yeah.
You know, you can tell that's is surrounding the whole picture.
The essence.
Yeah,
is
the
there.
essence is there.
That's really
But
amazing.
he has his own thing as well.
Yeah.
He's a human being. He's a different human being.
That's cool. And for you, I mean, you guys have played headlines as well. Where do you see it's going after bands like, let's say, Priest, Maiden, Sabbath, or they stop touring or they stop playing? Which bands do you feel have that in them to headline the festivals in Europe?
It's hard to say, because you know, it's you never know what's gonna happen with, you know, the band is already there, or are they gonna still there in 5-10 years? It's hard to say. But of course, you know, as the band grow and progress in their own thing, you know, of course, at a certain point, you know, things like I don't know, Testament or whatever, they're gonna be like maybe taking the stage. But I mean, it's different now, because you know, there's big bands like Iron Maiden, Kiss, you know, and that always headline the big shows, Metallica, and but it seems like there's not like a new kind of big figure headliner that's taking these spots, you know. So for a big festival, you know, if you put AC/DC and then, you know, big band like I don't know, Iron Maiden, and then the next year it has to be something different, someone else. And then the other festivals, you know, there's about,
they have to plan,
what, 20, 25 bands that can headline like big, really big festivals, you know. So I don't know really how it's gonna build up in the future, you know. And maybe some of them will disappear or stop, or
you never know.
And then other bands will take their place,
right?
Somehow.
Never know. That's right. I mean, is Snake happy with Black Sabbath doing final tour without Bill Ward?
Well, you know, it is what it is. I don't think, you know, I can put myself in their situation. It's just
at least for the fans, because
I
mean, you never know. This might be the last one. They might do something again. You never know what's gonna happen.
I heard that he couldn't play anymore, or was not that good anymore. But is it true? Is it like something between, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know really, but of course, you know, it would be great to see them. I mean, the full reunion. It's like they're talking now about the
Guns N' Roses, which is still a reunion. Don't know what's gonna happen.
So it would be great to see Easy, but I don't know if they're gonna make it, or
never know what's gonna happen. So, you know, if you had to, let's say, define the sound of the upcoming EP, which you guys have recorded, in, let's say, a sentence, what would it be?
It has a lot of emotion in it. I don't know why, but a few things that happened. Like there was the death of one promoter that really took place last year in Texas, where just after we played, and you know, sudden death, a guy died, and so we dedicate a song about him, and We Are Connected. And I think that was
already out.
that was already out, but I think it's gonna be on the EP as well.